Alright, dudes and dudettes. I'm gonna show you this thing that I've been tinkering with and fishing, and I'm gonna show you how to tie it. It's a extended body, no hackle, there's no feathers. It's like an extended body footprint done. And we call it the footprint because it's based on the Oliver Edwards footprint done. It's just I'm using an extended foam body and a couple other little tricks, but it's basically my take on that. And the footprint comes from basically when a dun is riding on the water. The imprint in the film is the part of the abdomen there. It's like the lower abdomen there, yeah. And then the feet, right? And the feet just make dimples in the film, yeah. And basically, so many people are fishing flies that have heavily hackled collars, yeah. And they work, yeah. Fish obviously eat them, but the thinking behind using something like this is that it is a little bit more truer to the natural in the impression it makes in the film, and I think the fish might know that. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, this is let's well, I don't know. How about this? I'll show you how to tie it, and then you could tie it yourself and fish it, and then you tell me. Right? I suggest you fish it behind somebody that's also that's fishing a traditionally hackle fly, and see if you can outfish them, right? And then let me know. Don't let me know. I don't give a crap. So, okay. We're just gonna cast them. We're only doing 3 body segments here, so we're just gonna put a little short little thread base on here, and make sure to leave the tag because we want to tighten everything up when we're done. And this is one of the secrets of the fly. Here is the micro fibits, but you can use fibits if you want, but I like to use ones from a beat up old cut brush that I have retired and is now my fly tying mayfly tail brush. So we're gonna lay these on top and just kind of approximate how long you want the tail here. I'm gonna do a 16, so something long lengths like that. Now don't put a bunch of tension when you tie these on, right? Just put a little bit here. Just, you don't need a lot, right? Just enough to hold them on there, yeah. Now take your foam strip, which I have cut little snips, right, where you fold it in half, right, and where the crease is, I've taken my scissors and I've cut little snips here, boop, on one side, and boop on the other, like that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna separate 2 tails on one side and 2 tails on the other, right, and then take this foam here, and right in the middle of those 2 snips, right at the center point where it would fold here, we're just going to poke it into the foam there, and we're going to make sure that our tails are 2 on one side and 2 on the other here. Like that, and just poke that in. Make sure your thread is hanging where you want your first segment to start. Alright, now pull the tails through that. Okay, so that's first segment there, like that. And now you can kind of pull these tails up into those cuts, yeah, so they hang out like that. And you can even adjust them, right? Like you can pull on these things. You're not going to break them. They're quite durable. So you can just pull on and adjust those if you want. Yeah, like that. Say they're too short or something, or you want them a little longer. You can just pull on them like that. So that'll be fine. So, all right. Now we're going to go on to the needle. Yeah. Around and make our second segment there. And one more. And that's where we're going to whip finish. And before we rip everything off here, we're going to just touch it with some head cement here, or varnish, either or. Don't use crazy glue. This is not a good application for that. Just a little hit on these thread wraps, yeah. Okay. Now, okay. Now, make sure everything's kind of in place and grab it. And just work it right off like that. Now don't let go, pinch it, while you're pinching it still, grab this tag end here of this thread and pull it until you feel that knot tighten in there. Yeah, that jam knot. Alright. So you could, nah, you know what, never mind, I'm not even going to mention it. So, okay, so now, next step. Before we put the hook in the vise, we are going to take our little tail section here, and right where we want that next segment to start, we're going to poke this through. Right on the bottom, like that. Right, and then put it in the vise. Like that. Alright, let's kind of just slide that sideways there. Now, cast on. And work all the way back to where you want that next segment to go. Probably like right between the, probably between the hook and the point and the barb there. Alright, now let's slide that up. Our legs and fibs on top here. We're gonna make sure that this is sitting like the way we want to, and make sure that that segment's gonna be where we want it. I could go back a little bit more, but yeah, you know what? I'm gonna here. Just go back a little bit more. Like there. Yeah. Bring everything up here. Try to keep those fibs on top. So that's one. And then once you come through the, and now lock onto the hook shank here like this. This body should be pretty straight. I don't think it's going to be going anywhere. It shouldn't go anywhere from there, right? And we're going to make one more body one more segment. So and there we go. Sweet. Okay. Now over here, Now we're gonna trim this foam here. Bottom two. Alright. Now we're gonna position our legs. 2 on one side, 2 on the other. Alright, like that. Okay. Now we're gonna put a little bit of dubbing behind that wing. And before we tie in our little thorax cover, so just gonna put a little bit of dubbing on the thread here. Like that. Now, another little strip of foam for our thorax cover here. I've been using this bleached elk for the wings, but you can do like a synthetic loop wing. You can do CDC. You can do basically anything that can be split. Like you just got to make sure you tie it in so it'll get split, right? By when we pull this foam forward. So I've been doing this bleached elk that I have here. Just clean it out here. I'm not going to stack it, I'm just going to measure it and put it. That's way too much. Okay. Just going to measure quick. There. Okay, now going to trim these little butts here. Now we're going to put some more dubbing. Basically, we're trying to make the bottom cohesive there with the dubbing, you see? And we're going to put more going forward too. So, let's do the two back legs now. We're going to separate those, right, like that. And we want those just sticking out, you know, about like there is the way I usually have them, like about like that much, like there. So you got to kind of hollow tie in front of them. You're going to pinch them back, right? And then kind of put some thread in front of them here. Make sure these ones stay forward. Put some thread in front of them here until they stick out sideways like that, right? Oh, I hope you can see that. So Now we're gonna do our wing here, our thorax and wing here. We're just gonna use my dubbing needle here. Push some of these to the side here. Splitting the wing here. That's pretty good. Pull some of that back. Pull some of that back. Like that. Pull that forward and push it down with my finger. Tie it in. Make sure it's straight on top there. Which it's not. So now we're just going to put a tiny little bit more of dubbing. Yeah. Now I'm going to go down onto my hook shank here. Make sure my two legs are still forward here. Make sure we're locked off on there. Now, see, that's perfect. That's perfect. We're going to position the wing after we're done too. We're going to make it stand upright a little bit. So, okay. Now, when you cut the foam, don't cut it flush. Leave a little bit of a head because that's going to be your head, right? So we're going to cut it like maybe like that. Yeah? You see? Now I'm going to whip finish. Fold everything back here. Oh, let me start my whip finish first. Kind of fold everything back here. And then grab my bobbin here. Proceed to whack that on there. 2, 3, 4. And that's the world's worst whip finish. It's good enough. Yeah, that's plenty good. Okay. Because we're going to put some head cement there too. So, boom, cut that off. Put a little varnish there. Okay. Now we're going to trim our legs and be done with it. So, I'm going to kind of prop this wing too up, like, you know, you just pull it up like that, you know, like it don't, like it's, you know, it'll get a little frumpled while you're tying, but you know, when you're fishing, it'll sit upright. So the legs, right? I kind of like to leave the back legs a little bit longer and the front legs a little bit shorter, but it's honestly, it's really easy to cut them short, and there's no such thing as like a putting back on tool. So we're gonna put the back legs out there like that. Yeah. And the front legs just a tiny little bit shorter. Like that. Yeah. So a little bit of floating on your wing and on here, and honestly, the foam, it's not really even all that necessary, but it, you know, I do like put a little bit of floating on it too. But when this thing hits the water and those legs dimple and it sits, and you see that little back, like when you see that, when the all that's in the water is just that hook, and it sits just right here, yeah. And with just these little dimples in the film, these fish go nuts, man. They go nuts for it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Tie some of these up. Tie some of these up, and thank Oliver Edwards, because this is a lot of this pattern came from him, right? So you should go check out his stuff on YouTube. He's passed away though, rest in peace. But he was an old geezer from England who's just an amazing fly tire. But yeah, like a little tiny stub over there. Here, look at that. Yeah, see? And that's it. Extended body, footprint done. I hope you enjoy that. I hope you tie some up and catch some fish, because this is a killer fly. I'll tell you that right now. Thanks for watching.